Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now this week it looks like it's going to be a relatively quiet week as far as collaborations go. Most of the big news that we did get about the Zoids collaboration was kind of talked about last week, so not really a whole lot to expect aside from just Genosaurs and so on coming out with the second wave of the event. But there is still a lot of stuff to expect, lots of nice reruns of bots we have not seen in a hot minute, and still a lot of very nice rewards to be earned through this event as well. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was announced for this week, even though it will be a relatively light week, and see just what they had on the docket, starting of course with the Gotcha Banners. Starting with those, of course, the main bot lineup that we have this week is ZID03 G-Saurer, with a kit of Ghost Shot, Double Cross Shock, Wheeled Legs, and the leg ability of Bloodstain. Now, we actually had a number of theories for a while as to what G-Saurer and D-Saurer would be, but honestly, Cross Shock is something that we took one look at and we're like, oh great, here we go again. Because Cross Shock is one of those things where you either love it if you have it, or you hate it if you don't. But luckily, G-Saurer looks like he kind of balances out a good chunk of what he does bring to the table despite that, especially for one weakness, of course, being Wheeled Legs, well, along with some very high power stats that he does bring to the table if you do snag him. With the addition of him, we also have reruns of the Medarot DS starters, Pt.2 Gun Nose with Napalm, Power Rifle, Mega Gatling Biped Legs, and a Sail, and then KWG-10 Sanjuro with Commander, Charge Blade, Thunder, Biped Legs, and Dead or Alive. Now, compared to most of the other recent KVT or KWG models we've seen, whether they be reruns of, say, like Sonic Stag, or Shinzon, or Dorcas, or even the new one like Omega Stag who came out fairly recently, Gun Nose and Sandro may not bring a whole lot to the table that we've not already brought, and most certainly they probably are models that have been probably outclassed 3 different ways. But they are still very useful models to be had and make use of, no matter how you choose to use them. Gun Nose essentially is basically like a Arc Beetle Light minus TP minus tune-up upgrades, given that both his arms, Power Rifle, and Mega Gatling are non-heavy. Does give you the ability to be able to fit them pretty much anywhere on the team and still make use of your high-power shooting ability. Sandro, on the other hand, legs with Dead or Alive does mean basically every crit he scores will boost his leg stats by a certain amount. And Thunder on the docket does mean it does give him the opportunity to stall enemies just a little bit and buy himself some extra time, while with Commander allowing him to go basically dark for an entire turn and become untouchable, or even bypass any shields that are in play thanks to that extra skill that it brings. In addition to these two, Blade Liger and Command Wolf will still be sticking around, of course, to the collaboration, so if G-Saurer doesn't quite tickle your fancy with aesthetics or design, you can still go after either of them with no real drawback or penalty. In addition to these 3 models, however, when it comes to Fierce Battles, again, nothing really huge or overly game-breaking or worth farming for this week. So, like I keep saying, this week is going to be relatively light on content, which will take it as a pretty nice, interim week, I guess you can call it, in terms of new content and being able to recoup and rest just a little bit between lulls of the new models and the collab ongoing. But with the Fierce Battles we have this week, we have starting that lineup RBT-05F Tempt Bunny with a kit of Beam, Count Repair, Shoot Trap, Wheeled Legs, and the Charm leg ability. Behind him we have FLW-01 Charged Seeds with Beam, Double Heater Plant, Multi-Legs, and the extra Magazine leg ability. And then last but not least, everyone's favorite OG Golem type GLM-0 Sekizo with Triple Missile, Tank Legs, and the Continuous P leg ability. Now, honestly, the 3 Fierce Battles we have this week are really nothing special. I did kind of preface that already with my earlier statement. That being said, it was honestly kind of hard to pick an MVP of the week because they all have something that's useful, but not anything that you'd use immediately. But with that being said, I still would have to give the MVP of the week to Sekizo in this case, given that even though Missile does now have some revived use thanks to Silent Leader mechanics that were implemented a while ago, but his tank legs are probably one of the better free ones that you can earn early on too, because Continuous P will continuously boost his heat stat by up to about 20% or so over progressive turns, meaning he does kind of fix his own weakness of being slow and sluggish on the field the longer he's allowed to drag on and the longer the fight carries on. But when it comes to Tempt Bunny and Charge Seeds, Tempt Bunny is a mixed bag. You could probably find some good use of things with there between Count Repair or Trap or Shoot Trap. Wheeled Legs with Charm are also nice too if you need something speedy for females and a debuff to any male incoming male attackers. Charge Seeds, he's there. That's just the nice way I'm gonna put it. Is he's there. If you recognize him from the anime or Medarot 2 core, go after him. But after you collect his parts, just stick him in the library and just leave him there. He's just kind of as a house plant you pick up at the store and you just kind of leave him in the pot on the windowsill. In terms of stuff relating to the event ongoing, as it was with Blade Lagger and Command Wolf, a third commemorative skin will be added to the shop for G-Sor, this time highlighting a crimson and black theme skin. Very, very nice, honestly. I did actually have a friend that modeled this fairly recently as the full-scale model and not the Medarot model, and it looks really, really nice. So definitely a skin you can go after if you do choose to pick up G-Sor. Much like it was with the first two paid skins, this one usually is going to be about 20 or 30 USD, so not anything overly expensive, but some extra rubies that you can use toward any gacha banners that do tickle your fancy if you do find yourself needing to pull from more than one model. And the skin, of course, is permanent, so once you do collect G-Sor, you can basically switch between them at any given time based on what kind of aesthetic you're looking for. With the event itself, Wave 2, there isn't a whole lot to mention. We do have opportunity to earn a whole lot more rewards this time around, much like it was with the last one. With the second wave of the event, there's no new model, of course, but there is a new medal that we can go after. We can earn up to 2 more commemorative profile banners, as you see here, highlighting Command Wolf and Blade Lagger and their original forms from the Zoids series, of course. We can earn the Scorpion medal with a mastery in melee, shooting, and setup, and leg masteries in multi-wield and flight. We can also earn limited time gacha tickets, as you see here, along with a lot more resources like diamonds and rubies and other limit ascension resources and even currencies to stock up on your resources if you do find yourself running particularly low. Usually events like this are going to be a really good way to farm resources because you can basically go for them indefinitely. So this is a really good opportunity to pick up on some stuff that you are running low on while you're still basically farming out an event and earning all those limited rewards. Now, as far as events go, they did kind of throw us for a loop this time around. I was fully expecting a Part 2 with blue tickets and a silver ticket, but this time around, instead, the Wave 2 was actually a milestone-based event. And that being said, pure sets are encouraged if you are going to be making use of this event. That being said, in terms of Medarot bonuses, as you see here, G-Sor will give you that 15% bonus each per part. Blade Liger and Command Wolf add a 9% bonus each per part. Gunnose and Sanjuro at an 8% bonus per part each. Shield Liger, the free model from last week's event, Wave 1 event I should say, at a 7% each. And the Fierce Battles at about 6% each per part cumulatively. With the Medarot, same case, the collab Azuma and collab Kohaku, as you see here, at 20% each. SR's Azuma at 10%, and of course the N and R rank at 5% and 3% for both Azuma and Kohaku as well. I was honestly kind of expecting some extra skins as well, given that they are kind of highlighting only 2 SR Medarots this time. And this collab does seem to be kind of running just a little on the lower end and lower key in terms of urgency compared to, say, the Transformers collab that we had recently, where it was just everything, everywhere, just no time to stop. Again, this event is pure sets encouraged if you want to maximize those bonuses, so this is your chance to make use of those if you do manage to pull parts and make use of them across the board. In terms of other event stuff going on, just as a friendly reminder of the Ori Meta contest that is currently going on Twitter right now by Imagineer, Simply put, you have the opportunity to submit your own design into the contest, and the top 3 are chosen to be made into official models introduced into Medarot S as the part of the permanent roster. You should be sure, if you are going to submit those, that you use the hashtags listed here below. And something else that was mentioned to me that I did go back and fix with one of my entries: if you do come up with a design, make sure you include part names, because that is actually one of the rules that's required if you are going to be submitting anything to the contest with a shot at maybe winning. Lots of wonderful designs that have been submitted thus far as I poke my head in the tag every here and there. And if you're looking for more Medarot art in your feed, that's basically a goldmine of all the artists you want to follow and add to your feeds to keep more in the know on that, because a lot of them are very close and dear friends of mine. I myself have personally submitted about 4 entries in this event myself, mostly because I would just love to see something from the Western community officially make a mark as well. But only time will tell. This event, of course, will be going on until 11/7, so early, about little under a month now from now, before they officially take time to deliberate and then announce the winners, which I suspect will probably be on Medarot Day on 11/28, so that they can officially make it a really big event for the 26th anniversary. On the topic of Ori Meta events, just as a friendly reminder, we ourselves are also hosting one in our Discord server. Not as many rules or requirements on this one compared to the official event. For instance, there is no motive prompt or anything else like. The rules pretty much are listed here and are listed in the Discord below. General rules, just keep it clean, but we are kind of open to everything. There have not been a lot of entries at all in the last week or so since the event started, but that's perfectly fine. It's still pretty early on. As seen here, this event will be going on until November 21st, so about 2 weeks longer than the official Ori Meta contest last. And then on Medarot Day, I will be going over the entries myself, and then also be picking winners from there. And I want to introduce this as a challenge to you guys as well. If you do submit anything, I want you guys to make it hard on me this time. The summer contest we had wasn't necessarily as big of a hit, only just a handful of entries, which was perfectly fine. But I want you guys to make it hard on me this time, especially for the anniversary. I want you guys to submit so many entries. I want to see that channel full of entries, whether you submit them for one contest or both, to the point that I'd actually have to take a whole second video just to look over them all before I even have a chance to deliberate on winners. So that is my personal challenge to you guys on our contest that is currently ongoing in the Discord. And if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to me or join the Discord for more rules and clarification, and you can kind of get to work on that. One other note to mention, and I do have to thank my buddy Moen as well for spreading word on this for the Japanese community. If you do find yourself struggling to come up with a design or a theme for your Ori Meta, there is a random generator that I did put together that basically has every skill and kit in the game in Medarot S currently, and will basically throw a kit together for you, so you can kind of think of something based on the prompts it gives you if you need just a little bit of a jump start to figure out something to do. And given that our contest does not have a motive prompt, you can basically just hit generate a few times, pick a few ideas you like, and there you go. All you have to do is put art to it, fill in the blanks, and you're basically done. On the community front, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any endeavors or fan projects we have. Currently, the main progress is going towards finishing out Medarot 3, as it's very, very close to completing 100% completion, and the game can be fully marked as translated into English. Very, very close. It's mostly just translating those last bits of text and then injecting it back in the game to clean it up and make it look clean, make it look proper. Efforts have been made towards starting on Medarot 4. Still very early on in that, though. But if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, or know anybody that does, definitely reach out to us in our Discord, link provided below, and we can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. And with the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, of course, this is one of my favorite well, I say this every week. Every segment of my show is my favorite segment. But this week in particular, I had a lot of fun picking entries for the weekly art highlights, since I only try to limit myself to 2, because I could honestly go forever if I could pick more than that. But with this week in particular, this one I chose to highlight by my buddy Moen, CHSci, as you see here. And he's actually been undergoing a 100-day art challenge, where he basically draws Medarots in everyday living situations, around the house, or in town, or running errands, and it's honestly been a really nice change of pace compared to the action shots, the concept arts, or even just regular sketches that you do see in your Twitter feed. So wonderful work. He's currently well into that challenge now, a little close to about 20%, I believe, day 20 or so. And definitely give him a follow if you'd like to see more than that, or even more of these pieces that you see here. His Blazer Mate piece very, very early on in that challenge was definitely a big hit when he started that challenge a little over almost 3 weeks ago. And of course, this piece here by my buddy Mono, who does a lot of very nice, soft, cartoony art as well. This one highlighting Empress Patra in light of her episode of the anime airing officially this week. Yesterday, of course, at time of recording. And if you'd like to see more art of both him or Moen in your feeds, definitely give both of them a follow as well. You most certainly will not be sorry on supporting the Japanese community and the wonderful, wonderful art that they provide to the community as a love and testament to the series and those small robots we love so much. But with all that being said, I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode. Like I said, it is a relatively light week. Only one new bot, 2 reruns, and aside from, of course, the ones that are sticking around. And the event is going to be relatively straightforward. One other thing I do want to mention on the event as a closing thought, it is a boss battle type, which means occasionally as you complete rounds, it will contribute toward adding to a boss spawn. Usually those will hit just a little bit harder, but give you extra points or give you access to extra rewards. But again, rules apply, pure sets encouraged, and you can make the most of that. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Are Ever communities on there that I do also run. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below if you'd like to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new merchandise, my weekly episodes, fan art, any contests, or any big news surrounding Medarot as a whole. That's often the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsaGamiKura, so if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would love just to stop in and say hello, I leave my DMs open for that very reason. So don't be a stranger, stop on in and say hello and I'll get to you when I can. In addition, if you are a streamer, VTuber, or YouTuber and would love to collaborate sometime, this includes having you here with me on my channel as a guest host, or me stopping in on yours for a friendly chat or a game, I would absolutely love to coordinate with you. So definitely give me a follow and reach out to me as well, and we can definitely try to make something happen with some scheduling. Lastly, do give these wonderful friends of mine a follow in the community as well. Twitter user EXCCo, I followed him on YouTube for a while without actually realizing I was not following them on Twitter, but they do a lot of news segments and a lot of streams of Medarot games, similar to how I do, minus the gameplay, of course, yet. But they do a wonderful job as well keeping the community in the know, especially with anything related to Medarot S, such as new models that come out, streaming or playing any new events that are ongoing. Definitely give them a follow both on Twitter and YouTube to make sure you stay in the know on that. And of course, Twitter user Mota Monkey, another very good friend of mine and another fellow artist in the Medarot community. A lot of their art tends to focus more on the technical side more than the cartoony or the everyday side, but still wonderful, wonderful art, very high quality, and stuff that would absolutely love gracing your Twitter feeds if you give him a follow as well. But with all that being said, I do appreciate you all for stopping by just as you always do, and until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.